my YouTube channel. It's your girl Ade doing. Welcome back to my returning subscribers. You guys are the OG. You know how we do it. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, now will be the best time for you to do so. Please click the subscribe button below. You're going to see a button somewhere on your screen, maybe your phone or your iPad or whatever you're using. Just click the subscribe button and subscribe. Join this family. If you're new here and you're wondering, oh, what do they do here? Why don't you sit back, relax, and then go through all my videos and see what I've been up to over the past 1 year that I started this channel. But usually I share content based on travel, based on relocation. I share relocation tips for people who would like to travel to the UK, and using my past experiences of being here for the past 2 years and counting now. So I think that, you know, I've learned, so that, you know, you guys can learn from my mistakes and learn from my experiences as well. I also help people who would like to study in the UK process their admission as well as their visa processes. Of course, terms and conditions apply. Please note, I do not work with UKVI or anything in between. I just share my experiences, people's experiences, so to say, a little bit of lifestyle, a little bit of travel when I get the money. Hopefully I get to partner with, you know, travel content creators so that we can bring to you guys more travel content and tips. I know I'm blabbing. Enough of all that. Just click below and enjoy the family. Let's get down to business. Whew, I know it's an hassle. Trying to get a house is very, very daunting. I mean, sometimes it almost becomes as if it's an impossible task. I know, I've been there, done that. House hunting in the UK can be really, really strenuous. That's why it's important for you to try as much as possible to sort that out before you arrive into the UK. Or if you have family or friends that you can stay with for the time being, say like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whilst you sort out this accommodation process. Of course, it's also important for you to note that there are a lot of scammers online saying that, oh, just pay for the property. The owner of the property is in the US and has taken the key. So you know what I mean? Please, guys, do not pay for any property that you have not seen. So either you either you send somebody to check the accommodation for you, or you call them and do a book, what's it called now, a viewing, an online tour. Even that as well is risky. For that, I suggest maybe doing a deposit, and then when you get into the UK you can finalize things. So today's main video is to tell you about some tips, some terms, some, you know, important things for you to know before going into house hunting in the UK. You know, before agents will tell you, oh, you need to provide this, and you'll be wondering, oh, what's this? So I'll try as much as possible to explain. I don't have a list. I just plan to, you know, say this based on my experiences and of course people's experiences in the UK, and I'm sure that 1 or 2 people are going to find this very, very useful. So have you relaxed? Have you grabbed your popcorn? Oh yeah, let's start. So yeah, the first important document for you to note when you're looking for a house is a BRP. Guys, they will not give you a house if you do not have a BRP. BRP means your biometric residence permit. It means that you can live in the UK. It means that you know that BRP card now that shows that you're a student in the UK, you're legal in the system and all the likes. So your agents or landlord will need to see that as proof that you have right to live in the UK. Linked to this BRP is your right to rent share code. So nowadays there's this, you know, I think it was recently introduced. There are two. There's right to work, there's right to rent, but what we're interested in today's video is the right to rent aspect. So your agent or your landlord will require you to provide your right to rent share code. Usually they'll share you this link, and then you fill in your details, and then you're able to generate this code and share to your employers. So it is important for you to take note of that, so that if they say, oh, right to rent share code, you're not confused that they did not give me when I collected my visa. No, it's a link that you just put to see your details, your BRP details and all the likes, and then it gives you your details. I think I'll try to get one if I'm able to. If not, you guys would eventually get to know this with your landlord or with your agent. Also, another key thing to note is that for agents or landlords to give you a house, they need to know that you have income, there's sustainability. Because how do you plan to be paying this rent? after this first month. So they want to see your employment status, like they would like to see your employment letter, they would like to see your pay slip for at least 1 to 3 months. I know that that can be really daunting if you're new in the UK, and of course you don't have a job yet. It's hard to, and with your 20 hours as well, it's not even helping. So most times landlords might say, oh, that you should pay up to 3 to 6 months upfront. At least they know that in that time frame you can always get a job that will be able to foot these bills. So do not be taken aback if you hear something like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't give you a house because you're unemployed. That's the UK way. So I don't even know how to bypass, I don't know how you can bypass that one. That's why I said, if you have a close family relative that can of course house you for a while, it will be very good, at least for the time being, where you can get a job that would give you employment letter that will serve as your reference. Because another thing they will need is employer's reference. So aside from providing your employment letter as well as your pay slip, you might also have to provide your employer's reference. So there's a link, there are different organizations that do this referencing. I know that there's tenant link, different ones. So is this body on their own that would send that will reach out to your employer, so you're not even involved in the whole process. So you literally have to have an employer. Yeah, another term that is important for you to take note of is a guarantor. So most landlords, most agents in the UK usually require you to have a guarantor. This is usually when maybe your income is low, if it's just you, but in the situation when maybe it's a combined income of husband and wife, you might really not need a guarantor depending on how much you both are earning. But most times they require you to provide a guarantor, and there's always like a set limit of how much your guarantor can earn. Some agents or some landlords will even require that the guarantor have a house in the UK, must be a house owner or more. It choke, I know. So some of them would require you to have a guarantor who is a house owner. Some might say they should earn about 27,000 and above. Different agents, different landlords, and there are different policies, but it's important for you to familiarize yourself with all these terms. Another thing that is important for you to familiarize yourself with is deposit. Bust my head. When I first got into the UK, I thought, oh, okay, this house is 650. Oh yeah, now let's collect it. I didn't even know that there's something called deposit. So apparently you have to pay a deposit alongside your rent. Guys, I know the look on your face was the look on my face when I actually also first found out about deposit. So what is deposit? Deposit is like a shorty or like a guarantee payment kind of that is paid alongside with your rent, and it's usually a month's rent for some agents or landlords, or at least 5 weeks rent for some agents or landlords. So let's assume that a rent is £650, you have to pay, and if the landlord or the agent requires you to pay a month's rent, that means you'll be paying £1,300 for the first rent. However, this is just one-off payment, so it's one-off payment, you just pay it and that's it. But of course you keep paying your monthly rent of £650 as time goes on. Yeah, and if it is 5 weeks rent, it will be 650 divided by 4 to be able to know how much 1 week rent is, and then times it by 5. That's what it's going to be. Another thing that is important for you to note is holding deposits. So all, if not most, if not all agents and landlord would require you to pay holding deposits, which is usually a week's rent. So this is for them to take the listing of the market, to take it from all the adverts that they might have put it, so that it's technically partially yours, pending when they do all their verifications. So they'll do your employer's referencing, they will do your guarantors referencing if you have one, things like that. They will do their own internal checks, they will do their credit checks, things like that, to actually see if they'll be proceeding to offer you this house. So you usually have to pay like a week's rent as deposit. Yeah, another thing for you to note is some houses, not all houses have this deposit option. Some houses have no deposit option. So in the listing you see some of them that will say, oh, no deposit option available. But in the no deposit option scheme that is available, it also has their terms and conditions. So make sure that you read through and you see what the no deposit option entails. Usually has to do with you paying a certain amount of money to join like a member group of tenancy kimiko. I would screenshot what it means so that you guys can read up on it in full below. I'll definitely make sure that I put that one here. So you're wondering, okay, we know all these things, how then do we find this house? So there are some credible sites that I've used, that I've shared with friends and family, that has helped them to secure their accommodation in the UK. The first one will be Rightmove. So Rightmove, you just type on Google Rightmove, and then it allows you to put your city, maybe Southampton, Portsmouth, or postcode, and then you can put miles, like the range with which you want the search to go through. So if you want the house as far as 10-15 miles away from your particular landmark, you are able to sort and filter it. Also, you're able to filter and sort and put in the price range that you want. So maybe £0 to £500, £0 to £1,000, depending on what you're looking for. And you can also pick your type of apartment. Maybe it's 2-bedroom flat you're looking for, it's 1-bedroom flat. The same thing applies to Zoopla. And most times I feel like the same houses that are on Rightmove are on Zoopla. I don't know if you guys get. So they are like sort of like competitors, but they coexist. Oh well. So you can check. And one thing that is important to notice, you might check the website now and you don't find anything you fancy. You can check like 5 minutes time and they've uploaded something. So it's important for you to keep checking. So you don't just wake up and say, oh, I'm tired of searching. I searched yesterday, I couldn't find. Have you checked today? Did you check last night? What do you get? Because they upload this thing, you know, by the minute, because people are probably exchanging their tenancy, people are moving, so it gets updated regularly. So keep your eyes on the price. Another website will be Gumtree. I know a lot of people who search for houses on Gumtree and they see. Another one will be Facebook Market. With Facebook Market, it's kind of tricky. I didn't get my house or the houses that I've lived in the UK on Facebook Market, but some people do get it from Facebook Market. In as much as you're able to go and view the Facebook Market house, that site is actually easy for you to fall, you know, prey of. So you have to be very wary of it. So make sure that for Facebook Markets you see what you are buying, because Facebook Market, they can say you should pay beforehand. Do not fall scam of that. Make sure you view. Do you guess? Make sure you view. Make sure that it's an accredited vendor, be accredited agent. You know, all the likes. So do not fall prey of any scam in the UK, because you'll be shocked that it's not only in other countries that these scams exist. It exists here as well. So shine your eyes where. Okay. Another site would be Open Rent. Open Rent also works like Zoopla and Rightmove and the likes of them. Guys, another very credible site to check would be Amber Students, and it's actually very good because with Amber Students they don't require you to provide guarantor or pay like 3 to 6 months rent, because they know that you're a student. So you have your admission letter already, you have your cast, things like that to prove that you're a student. With that, you're able to get a house as a student. And it might be a bit tricky if you're coming in with your family, because it's usually more streamlined to students. I know they have some houses that are for, you know, family, maybe like a 2-bed or a 3-bed, things like that, but they are not as much as individual houses or like studio flats or like shared apartment, things like that, like hostels for students. Amber Students is very good with that one, so make sure to try them. Another site that you can check for houses is Pair Room. So for this Pair Room is like shared apartments, so you can search for a single room that is shared with maybe 2 other people. And sometimes if you have the house already, you can search for what's it called now, tenants or like housemates on this same spare room. So these are some popular sites that I have used, that I've shared with friends as well, that has helped them over time to make their decisions to, and you know, over time get a house. But it's important to know the place of patience, and guys, the place of God. I don't joke with God. You know, there's the God factor, and people's grace level are different. You know, pray, yeah. You pray, put it in God's hands that God, okay, we need a house, and then you know, I'm sure that God will come true for you guys. And yeah, I just decided to share this with you because with having a lot of students come in, some that I helped to get in the UK as well, they've really been having issues with accommodation problem, this and that. So I thought to do a holistic video that covers all these questions that they have asked me over time, and hopefully one of them is watching, or all of them, or some of them, or anybody who needs this particular video it gets to you and you're able to make informed decision about it. If you watch this video to the end and you have not still subscribed, you're on a logged in, please click the subscribe button below, join the family. You see the tips that I've dropped for you. I plan to be dropping it hot and it's going to be as life-changing and promising as it can be. Yeah, okay guys, that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for staying till the end. I remain your popular girl, Adedoyin. Don't be a stranger. Bye.